All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about what might just be the most important rulebook for the future of AI, the first ever official international guide for how to build and use this stuff responsibly. I mean, think about it. You've got AI in your phone, in your car, at work, it's everywhere, and it's moving so fast. But that begs a really big question, right? With all this incredible power, who's actually setting the rules? Who is in charge here? And that's the thing. Right now, it kind of feels like the Wild West out there for AI. You have all these companies racing ahead, which is great, but they're doing it without a common set of rules. And that creates some very real, very specific problems. And this is really the core of the issue, you know? AI isn't just another piece of software. It's making decisions by itself, often in ways that are, frankly, a black box. We can't easily see how it got to an answer. Plus, some of these systems are constantly learning and changing, even after they're out in the world. It's kind of like building a car that could decide to rewire itself while you're on the highway. So here's the best way to think about it. We are building this huge, complicated AI-powered world, but we're doing it without a universal building code, no agreed-upon blueprints, no safety regulations, and that is a really risky way to build our future. But what if there was a building code? What if there was a globally recognized rulebook that any company, anywhere, could pick up and follow to bring some order to all this chaos? Well, guess what? Now there is. And here it is, ISO/IIC 42001. This is a huge deal. It's the world's very first international standard specifically for AI management systems. Now, it's not a law that governments are forcing on anyone. Think of it more like a detailed, expert-approved playbook for how to handle AI from the drawing board to the real world. So what is an AI management system anyway? Well, the simplest way to put it is it's a company's own internal rulebook for AI. It spells out all the policies, the goals, and the step-by-step processes for making, buying, or using AI in a way that's responsible. The standard has a more formal definition, of course, a set of interrelated elements, but it's all about getting everyone on the same page. And you don't have to take my word for it. The standard itself says it loud and clear. Its goal is to help organizations act responsibly. See, this isn't about slowing down innovation. It's about putting up the guardrails to make sure that innovation is safe, that it's ethical, and that people can actually trust it. Okay, so you have this dense 50-page document. How does it actually work in the real world? Well, the brilliant part is that the whole thing is built around a surprisingly simple and really powerful idea, a cycle of constant improvement. This right here is the engine that drives the whole standard. It's a simple 4-step loop. Plan, do, check, and act. The key is that it's not a one-and-done checklist. It's a living process. You plan your strategy, you go out and do it, you check your results to see if it's actually working, and then you act on what you learn to make it even better. Let's break down what that means. So everything, and I mean everything, starts with a plan. If we're sticking with our building analogy, this is where you draw the blueprints. In this phase, a company has to do its homework. It needs to get the bosses on board, create an official company-wide AI policy, and, this is the big one, assess the risks. That means thinking really hard about all the ways an AI system could affect people and society. It's about asking that critical question, what could go wrong, long before a single line of code is ever written? Okay, blueprints are approved. Now it's time to actually build something. This is the do phase, where all those plans turn into action. So here, the organization actually puts those controls and processes into practice. This covers the entire life of the AI, from start to finish. And look, risk assessment shows up again. That's because it's not a one-time thing. It's something you have to keep doing all the way through the construction process. But you'd never move into a building without an inspection, right? That's what the check phase is all about. It's making sure everything was actually built according to the plan and is up to code. This is where the company has to monitor and measure how its AI systems are really doing out in the wild. It involves running internal audits to make sure people are actually following the rulebook and holding regular meetings to ask, is our plan actually working? Is it effective? And that brings us to the final, crucial step, act. Because a building is never really finished, is it? It needs maintenance, maybe some renovations down the line. It's the exact same idea for an AI management system.
This is where the real learning happens. When things go wrong, when there are nonconformities, or let's just call them mistakes, the organization has to react. But it's not just about patching the problem. It's about digging down to the root cause and putting a real fix in place so that same mistake doesn't happen over and over again. This is what makes the whole system get smarter and safer over time.
So what's the big payoff? When you put this whole cycle together, what do you actually get? Well, you go from chaos, from just making it up as you go, to a system that is structured, responsible, and ultimately designed to build trust. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's really night and day. You go from a reactive approach with hidden dangers and nobody really knowing who's accountable, to a world with structured plans, managed risks, clear responsibilities, and that powerful engine of always getting better. So why should you, personally, care about some technical standard? Well, because this directly impacts the AI products and services you use every single day. It pushes companies to make their AI safer and more reliable. It makes it crystal clear who's responsible when things go sideways. And most importantly, it helps build the foundation of public trust that we absolutely need if this technology is going to succeed. But here's the kicker, the final thought I want to leave you with. This whole standard is voluntary. It's a fantastic blueprint for building responsible AI, but no one is forcing companies to use it. So the real question is, will they choose to adopt the blueprint? Or will they just keep building in the Wild West, leaving the rest of us to deal with the consequences? The answer to that is going to shape the future of AI for all of us.